Hey guys, what's up? Chef Hamill here, and today I am going to teach you how to make the absolute easiest breakfast wrap. So this particular technique is a little bit different because you actually make everything all in one pan, whereas usually if you're making some sort of breakfast wrap or breakfast burrito, you would make all of the fillings, including the eggs and any sort of meat that you were using or vegetables, and then add it to the wrap later. So this technique, oddly enough, I found on TikTok. It's been floating around, and I actually really like it, and it's something that I've been making a lot during quarantine for breakfast because it's so easy to make. So for mine, I am going to be using some baby spinach, 1 egg that I scrambled. I have my tortilla here, which mine is actually perfect size for the bottom of my pan, which is what I want. But if you had a bigger tortilla, you're just gonna get a bigger breakfast wrap. I have some aged Gouda cheese and 1 slice of turkey. It's not, because my tortilla is small, it's not gonna actually fit that many fillings, which is good because it'll be a nice light breakfast. So I have my pan here over a medium-low heat with a little bit of olive oil, and I'm going to first saute my spinach. I'm actually gonna turn it up a little. And I actually really like this technique because it's kind of like a one-pan dish, and it's something that when I saw it, I immediately thought this is an easy breakfast that my students could make at home. And of course you can put whatever fillings that you want inside, whether you had bacon or sausage, depending on what kind of cheese, or if you want to add any other type of herbs or vegetables inside. It's kind of up to you. I like to saute my spinach a little first, just to kind of soften it a little and wilt it. I'm going to add a little bit of salt. And the next step is going to be to add the egg. Now I'm just using 1 egg because I find that because my tortilla is so small, it's actually a little bit hard to fold the wrap if I used 2 eggs. So I'm just using 1. 1 egg white would also work too. So now that this is wilted, I'm going to kind of spread it out so it's on the bottom of my pan in a nice even layer, just like that. And I am going to pour my egg right on top. Now because I'm only using 1 egg, it's not necessarily going to take up the entire bottom of the pan. So I'm just going to kind of swirl it around as best I can before it sets. So I get a nice even layer of egg. And this is the perfect light breakfast, which I like. So I'm going to kind of use my spatula to scrape down the sides a little. And this is where it gets really fun or really different. So just before the egg is completely set, you're actually going to take your tortilla and you're going to place it right on top of the egg and set it down and kind of press it down so that the tortilla sticks to the egg that's still just undercooked. When I saw this on TikTok, I have to say I was very skeptical, but it's actually a genius, and I actually really like it, and I was shocked. So you're going to press it down. Let it kind of cook for a minute, and then what we're going to do is flip the entire thing. So the tortilla will be on the bottom of the pan, and it's going to crisp up the tortilla a little bit, and then what we're going to do is we're going to fold in our fillings, our turkey and our cheese, right into the center of the breakfast wrap. So I'm using a regular spatula for this to make it a little bit easier to flip. And I'm just going to flip the whole thing. And now we can add in our filling. So I'm just using 1.5 slices of cheese. I don't need a lot, I just want a little bit. I'm gonna place that down the center of my wrap, and then I'm gonna place my turkey right on top of that. Now this turkey I got at the supermarket. It's a little bit thicker slice than I would normally prefer. So So I'm only using one slice. Oh my God, it's falling apart. So lay that down the center, just like that, and press it down because you want it to, you're gonna fold in the sides. So you want it to be as flat as possible. So I'm going to now fold in the sides. Now what I like to do, which I taught my students when we were making breakfast burritos, is use cheese as glue. Because as cheese melts, it's gonna hold things together. So I'm gonna fold in one side. I'm gonna stick my piece of cheese there. I should turn my pan around. And now when I fold in my other side, the cheese is going to act as glue to hold my wrap together. Now, as soon as I fold in both sides to kind of activate that quote glue or that cheese, I like to flip it right on that side immediately, and it's going to close our wrap. And as you can see, like, it's a little bit on the thicker side, like that was kind of a lot of turkey. So you have to be careful. You can't add too many fillings to this or it's not going to close. So I'm actually going to turn up my heat because I want each side of my wrap to toast a little bit. And we want the cheese to melt and the turkey to get nice and warm. But this is great because as you can see, you made everything in one pan. It's easy cleanup. You kind of can add whatever fillings that you want into it. So it's really customizable and it's a nice, just light breakfast. And I don't necessarily like to have a huge breakfast, so this is perfect portion size for me. Flip it over and see. Ooh, very nice. So it's starting to get a little bit of light brown color. I'm going to cook it a little bit on its other side. But as you can see, that cheese has melted and it's going to be that glue that's going to hold our wrap together. This is great with egg whites. It would be really delicious with some mushrooms or some fresh herbs like cilantro or parsley or chives. Anything you kind of have on hand. At this point, I'm going to flip it over. It's really nice and golden brown on the bottom, which is what we want. It is a really nice crunch texture to the wrap, which is what we're looking for because a lot of the fillings inside are kind of on the softer side. And you always want to have a contrasting texture when you're making food. So I have a little cutting board here. Let me zoom out. So when I am done, I'm going to cut my wrap in half and then eat it up. Ooh, that's perfect. Okay, I'm gonna turn my pan off. I have my wrap here. It is so nice and golden brown and delicious. You can see that cheese melted and kind of formed a low crust. I'm so excited to eat this. Move my pan off the heat. And I have a knife here. I'm gonna cut this in half. Beautiful. And there we go. You can see you have the egg in the middle, the spinach, the turkey, the cheese. It is absolutely delicious. And it's a really nice, easy breakfast that you can make at home, especially my students. And I really hope that you try out this technique. And if you do, please let me know. I'd love to know how you made out and if you liked it or not. And thank you so much for watching.